Hey YouTubers, this is EMD SDL38 and it's September the 12th, 2020. I hope everyone has been taking care of themselves and staying healthy and happy. Hope your families are doing okay. Um, this is another update video. As you can see by the title, the SDL39's are back in the spotlight. Um, I recently purchased another Jeep 38 for the project, and it came in the mail today. You're probably wondering about what's going on here, and I'll get into that. But basically, the SDL38 is a predecessor to the Saudi Arabian SDL38-2, which is basically a six-axle version of the Jeep 38-2, but built for Saudi Arabia because of their lighter track loading gauge. So I built a predecessor version. Um, you can I actually came up with a nickname for them. They're called Pocket 38s because they're actually shorter than a standard SD38 or SD38 AC. They're actually way shorter because it's basically the stock Jeep 38 riding on trucks from SD24, SD26, or SD35 units. So the first attempt at doing this was this unit here. And I basically am going to, pretty much I'm going to do away with the shell, and I'm going to buy another Jeep 38 down the road, and basically just take the shell from that unit, use it on this chassis, which would mean that this unit gets a box, and then I'll take that other unit's chassis and modify it to accept SD trucks. Unfortunately, I didn't buy a pair of SD35 trucks that were for sale on eBay a couple weeks ago, and I'm regretting that now because at least I would have had them to do my chassis for my fourth unit. As of right now, the way the roster is, there's only going to be 4 of these units, 3 nose units and 1 high nose unit. But if I can't locate another pair of Atlas SD trucks with, and I have to cannibalize a good Atlas SD35 or SD24 model, I'm not going to do it because it's kind of like a waste in my opinion. Take, I would rather just buy the trucks separately and not have to cannibalize a good locomotive for them, if I can help it. But yeah, this was the prototype unit. Prototype in the sense that it was my first attempt at doing this. This kind of rebuild. The fuel tank is not the original fuel tank that came with the engine. The customized fuel tank is actually on this chassis here. So there's a lot of stuff going on here right now. So let me clear up the confusion with this. So the BNSF unit here was the first unit, the first SDL38 that I built. This technically is the second one, and then this is the third one. So this is the unit that came in the mail today, which is this unit's cab. I swapped the cabs because since I'm doing away with this shell anyway, I put the better cab, which was the BNSF cab, on this shell here because the details on this shell are a lot better than, well, you obviously can see that on this one. All of them are DCC equipped. Also, this unit came with a plow, which is really nice. Yeah, I was doing a lot of swapping around. The back step on this shell was bad, but luckily I had one good step from the BNSF shell, and I just swapped it there. So I was doing a lot of part swapping between these two units to get one good shell on one good chassis, and then just use this as a temporary shell just because I didn't want the chassis to be empty. So yeah, here's the trucks that came with this unit. It also came with an AC unit, but it's, as you can see, it's broken a little, so I don't think I'm going to use that. I like the RV style ones better anyway, but I don't know where I can get those at. But I'm probably going to use these on another project. if I can. But yeah, so ended up taking the BNSF fuel tank, swapping it to this unit, taking this unit's air tank, swapping it to this fuel tank so I could get the better air tanks on here, because the original air tanks, when I was cutting this fuel tank, I left them on and I accidentally nicked them, so I didn't want that on there. So I did that. But yeah, and basically it's you can see a little bit of the frame modification there to get the SD trucks to swing, but you don't really have to do any modifications to the shells at all. Once you do the chassis modifications, you can just pop the stock Jeep 38 or Jeep 38-2 shell right on the chassis and you're ready to go. I like these oddball like rebuilds. As a matter of fact, to be honest, no one has actually, as far as I know, no one has made the Saudi Arabian SDL38-2 in HO scale. Nobody has made that yet. No one has even made a variant. So as far as I know, I'm the only one that has made these variants like this, which is cool. But yeah, I will be getting another Jeep 38 to take just for the sole purpose of using that unit shell on this chassis so that this unit has a box, and then this shell will probably be used as a part shell, and then I'll have a spare chassis left over. If I ever find SD trucks for it, I'll use it, but if I can use this shell or find another shell that I can use in the place of it, I might just do something with that. But as of right now, there are 3 of them, which is really cool. I mean, they're good locomotives too. There are differences between the two, between the 3 units. So these 2 units here actually have the larger fuel tank, and you can tell because if you look at the gap between the rear front truck and the front of the fuel tank here on these 2 is a lot closer than it is on this unit here. So this unit actually has a slightly smaller fuel tank compared to these 2 over here. And the purpose of these units, pretty much they're designed for, they're pretty much like iron ore units. Basically, it's a cheaper version, it's a cheap way of getting an SD38 without spending for an SD38. You know what I mean? So you basically just take your Jeep 38, you cut the fuel tank down, you slap some SD35, SD24 trucks on it, and you basically have created a miniaturized version of an SD38 or SD38 AC without having to spend the extra cost of buying a full-size version. And these actually can go in tighter spaces than that engine anyway, so that's another advantage. Yeah. So I will be giving you guys more updates on this roster. I did have someone post a comment on my other video, another update video, asking about my SD14Rs. I'm not giving any updates on that roster as of right now because I'm still trying to figure out what is a viable engine that I can use for that. I mean, I do have 3 of the later versions made, or is it 2? I think I have 2 or 3 of the later versions made, and those were rebuilt from SD24s. But as far as the SD7 and SD9 rebuilds of that class, there are no updates on that. So I'll get back to you guys on that later on. So you guys be cool. God bless, and I will be seeing you later. Bye, y'all.